Hey, you know what? I could pontificate about how I love the mystical flight of the arrow and how I love to go in the sacred swamp and how I love to eat backstraps. But I have a friend who can articulate it way better than I can.
Economic tsunami relative to a single deer hunter, I don't believe is really understood today. Hey, I'm Ted Nugent. I am deer and deer hunting. It's the best in TV.
Okay, this story starts for me personally in 1995, 25 years ago. I got to meet one of my heroes who became one of my friends. And I really learned along the way on what he's seen in his life and why he is the way he is. I'm talking about Ted Nugent.
Right here, right now, what we got is an all-American barbecue free-for-all, baby. That's right.
As the years went by, we realized that this working relationship was better fit for this new thing called the internet. And he was going to blog for us. And I said, well, why don't you try it? It became really popular. So we separated things because Deer and Deer Hunting is a media source. It's not just a magazine. It's not just a TV show. We had all these things going on. And through those times and through those years, we built this friendship. And he was the first one to say it. He called me his blood brother. And I thought, oh, that's something you just tell everybody, you know, you're blood brothers.
Blood brothers, brothers of the blood. It's a spiritual connection that the Native Americans, the Native Africans, our ancestors bonded together. You can be blood brothers without sharing blood, even though the ultimate blood brothers do indeed share the blood of the game that they harvest in camp together. They understand each other's emotional and spiritual invigoration because they're experiencing the same things together. Dan Schmidt, he doesn't just edit Deer and Deer Hunting as a magazine and deeranddeerhunting.com. He is deer and he is deer hunting. I am deer and I am deer hunting.
When you understand somebody, you learn about them and you learn about their values and you learn about what makes them tick. Well, the common thing that made us tick, we are whitetail fanatics. I just can't get enough of it. Ted can't get enough of it. And the thing is I think we grew up very similarly that way. When he was a kid and when I was a kid, just the mere sight of a whitetail, the fact that you get one in front of you, get you excited. That's how Ted is, and that's how I am. And it's never, I tell you guys all the time, that will never change. I don't care, big or small, I get excited about them all, and Ted's the same way. And I think that's why we're blood brothers, in the fact that we share that common excitement for the whitetail, but at the same time, we have a passion for the continuance of deer and deer hunting. Because in America, we see all these forces, not just against deer hunting, but against the hunting lifestyle that are trying to erode at it, trying to eat at it.
And not many people get that. Well, the readers get it, Dan gets it, but a lot of people in the industry don't get it. Dan's special. I'm going to give Dan a backstrap for Christmas.
Land of Whitetail is brought to you by $1 Million Buck Bash, powered by Apex Competitions. Hunt, compete, win. Outdoor Edges game processing sets to do it yourself and save. Redneck Blinds, the best hunting blinds on the planet. Cuddy Back, Cuddy Link, 24 cameras, one cell plan, $10 a month. And by HuntStand, the #1 hunting app in the country. For hunting, shooting, camping, fishing gear, and more, go to sportsmansguide.com. They sell all the top brands in the industry at unbeatable prices. For everything you need to outfit your passion for a lot less, go to sportsmansguide.com. First trip to Michigan to hunt today, and guess who I get to hunt with? You got it right. My good friend Ted Nugent. I've known him for 25 years. We're gonna be bow hunting today. To say that I'm a little excited is a little bit of an understatement. Let's go bow hunting. What a crazy day. We just drove 7 hours to see Ted Nugent here in Michigan. And now I get to sit in a tree stand and hunt his sacred ground. Lucky man. Hashtag blessed. Let's sit down and enjoy it. So let me stop you right there, because I know a lot of you have these preconceived notions about Ted Nugent, and I could probably spit them off right now. You say, oh, he was a draft dodger. Oh, he only hunts behind high fences. That is the first thing a lot of my friends here at home said. Oh, you're going to go hunt in high fence with Nugent? No, because I knew that wasn't the case. So let me, as Ted would say, let me give you a little bit of an education here. 1980, he bought 1,000 acres in Michigan. And it is the wildest, free-ranging ground I've seen in my life. And by far, anything but easy hunting. We hunted really hard morning, afternoon. Now, the one thing that people should understand is Ted's place is in the middle of farmland in Michigan. And he has a lot of neighbors, just average guys and gals, just, you know, working hard, trying to pay their taxes, and they enjoy deer hunting, but they all have a deer management program in place, and they basically manage it themselves, basically what they want to shoot, when they're going to shoot it, does, bucks, whatever. It's nothing unlike that you don't see at home. It's basically neighbors getting along. But we hunted hard, and I tell you what, we saw some deer, not a lot of deer, and those deer were the most skittish deer I've seen in my life. Maybe because they have Ted Nugent hunting them, but wild as wild can be. Fawns, does, young bucks. It wasn't easy, but you know, at the end of the day, I got to experience that wild environment in Michigan for the first time, and it was one of the most memorable hunts I've ever been on.
See, God had a sanctuary for a guitar player in mind on the 8th day.
When you get to spend a couple of days with Ted Nugent, you better prepare yourself for some passionate conversation. You can't say we didn't warn you.
And that's the same thing with the guys who hate on the crossbows. Say, well, that's too easy. It's to your same point. Now you're dictating what I should and shouldn't do based off of. Well, you should have a permanent disability to be able to use a crossbow.
That kind of stuff, which is why we are blood brothers, and believe me, we're not alone. And as we identify the embarrassment of a lunatic fringe who thinks in such a selfish and mindless way, they really are a lunatic fringe. They're not the pulse of our sport. I'm afraid the fringe is more than a hiccup. It might be a guttural belch at this point, because we run into it. What sort of human being would go, we need to ban lighted knocks in this area? Really? What role does a lighted knock play in harvesting an animal? A lighted knock helps you identify the shot after it's taken and maybe find your arrow after the shot. In Georgia, you could bait in half the state, but not the other half. Well, if there's a reason to ban baiting anywhere, then it would have to apply everywhere. And of course, it's arbitrary. It's not founded in science. So we got the whole state where you feed and bait. Louisiana, legalized feed and bait. Alabama, finally feed. So if those dedicated biologists are examining the subject and researching it, coming to the conclusion that it's good for supplementing the support of our wildlife, what biologists at the Illinois DNR, the Michigan DNR, what information are they privy to that Georgia, Louisiana, South Carolina, Kentucky, Kansas, Ohio, North Dakota, Nebraska, all these states where you can feed and bait deer, is there or is there not whitetail biology? And I'll answer that question myself. Of course there is. There's not whitetail biology in North Dakota and then a different whitetail biology in South Dakota. It's the same biology. This is all political correctness, abuse of power, and people who are either clueless or just dishonest.
Listen, everybody, to what I got to say. There's hope for tomorrow.
We're going right now. All right, this is Ted Nugent Danger Zone podcast with Tim Wells and my blood brother Dan Schmidt from Deer and Deer Hunting, and we're going to play some killer song.
Well,
like
Dan,
maybe,
what's your favorite Ted Nugent song?
Great White Buffalo.
Great, we will play Great White Buffalo. I'll play it live right here, right now, because it's so cool.
Listen, everybody, to what I got to say. There's hope for tomorrow. If you wake up today, it happened long ago. You still there?
What a great song. It happened long ago in the New Magic Land. The Indian and the buffalo, they existed hand in hand. The Indians needed food and skins for a roof, but they only took what they needed. Millions of buffalo were the proof. Then came the white dogs with the thick and empty head. Couldn't see past their billfold. They wanted all the buffalo dead. So the Indians hid in fear. There were no buffalo to be found. Looked like the magic was missing. Looked like a damn burial ground. Above the canyon walls, strong eyes did glow. It was the leader of the family. Here he comes. It was the great white buffalo. And he by the batter herd, and he led them across the land with the great white buffalo. They're not a big final stand. So listen, everybody, to what I got to say. There's hope for tomorrow. Is if we wake up today with the great white buffalo, that great white buffalo, that great white buffalo. God bless America. God bless the mighty beast. The beast is dead, and I think he loves his Uncle Ted. Awesome.
So if the hunting wasn't enough, which it certainly was, incredible experience, after the hunt, this is one of the coolest things I've ever experienced.
We'll be shooting bows with the Motor City Madman.
Yo, there she is, the queen of the forest. He can zoom through everything she shoots at, pretty much. Archery is sexy. Not so much when you shoot, Dan.
No.
All right. I'm ready for the strap.
First, we got to shoot bows together, which is really cool. And I tell you what, he is one heck of a bow shot, and as is his wife. Awesome experience. Got to shoot our bows together. But then he gives me this incredible tour of his garage.
Here's how I learned to aim small, miss small. We're talking back in the early 60s, I would trace a nickel and put this on the target, so I didn't shoot at the target. I pick a spot. And I would cut out these little squares of cardboard, and now I use an orange tape. But this goes back, you got your speed knocks, and
I was looking at these arrows here. And
this guy made these arrows
scary sharp.
just unbelievable. Those are one of a kind, and he's got them labeled with how many grains the arrows are, and these are made out of red oak that he perfectly worked to make them as straight as a carbon arrow.
And the knock is actually just
sure, with sinew. Is that
That's
spectacular?
insane. And that was just by your hand.
Sure. And then I got the old long bows to go with it. This is my dad's bow. When I was born, my dad already had this bow. This has got to be a classic, huh? 60-pound draw at 28 inches. He drew that back like it was nothing. And then this was my original Bear Super Kodiak, and I actually had sights eventually, but you can tell I put them all up there because I didn't use them. And this was 50 pounds.
When did you use this bow?
I'm going to say 65 through 70.
Is this the one you shot your first deer with?
Yes, October 10th, 1975, a beautiful year-and-a-half-old
Yeah.
10-pointer, which is mounted in the other room there.
Oh, man.
So that's got some history in it.
That was with that bow, and I'm holding it right now. I can't pretend I know what it's like to be Ted Nugent. I can't pretend to know what he's experienced over more than 50 years. Land of Whitetail is brought to you by Easton. Get armed and deadly with Easton FMJ arrows. Scent Killer Gold with Hunt Dry Technology Plus. Apply it, dry it, and go hunt. 10-point crossbow technologies. There is no substitute. Sever broadheads. Straight through it. And by Exodus Broadheads by Quality Archery Designs. American made tough. If you can break it, we'll replace it.
Gun season. I said, it's Cochise. It's Robin Hood. It's Ishi. It's Fred.
Archery history to the nth degree. One of the things that really humbled me was he had letters, he had pins. He had 4 people, 4 veterans of the United States military send him their Purple Hearts because they appreciate what Ted does from a public relations standpoint to stand up for American men and women. Again, I'm a fanboy. I'm a friend. And one thing that friends do for each other is they try to help other people who might have a misconception of that person. And I want to do this for you right now. If you have a misconception of Ted Nugent, I can't pretend I know what it's like to be Ted Nugent. I can't pretend to know what he's experienced over more than 50 years, the things he's seen, the experiences he's had, the places he's been. All that combined is just so much knowledge in his brain. And does he articulate it perfectly all the time? No, he doesn't. But he also knows how to relate to every single person that he's in front of, whether he's performing, whether he's talking, how he's going to get his message across. One thing that I always tell my friends who will bash on him, I'm going to say, name one person who stands up for hunting and the hunting lifestyle and reaches as many people as Ted Nugent. You can't find one. So that's one thing that I'm going to stand up for him because that's what friends do. I'm going to stand up for him because I know that he fights for what's right.
You know, there's a lot of hate out there. There's a lot of people who will make up lies about my husband, and they have spread a lot of rumors. And it used to be really, really hurtful to me. It still sometimes is, but I've learned a lot from Ted. If the bad guys think you're a bad guy, then that's okay, because not everybody can like you. And unfortunately, in this social media age that we're all living in, We sometimes look to social media and see how many likes we got on a post and how many we didn't get. And the truth is, you do you, I'm gonna do me. And I've learned that from Ted. He's so busy living the life of his dreams that he doesn't have time to worry about haters. And so that's what I really try to do, is focus on the things that I enjoy doing, the things that set my soul on fire. Number one has to be health and fitness, because if you aren't healthy, you can't be happy. So health and fitness, keeping your body in shape so that you can climb tree stands. I'm 57, I can still do cartwheels, I can do the splits, I can do just about anything. Back flips on a trampoline, but it's because I take care of my sacred temple, and because I share my passion, my motivation with other people. I get so much positive feedback from people. It fills my soul. So thank you for that. I'm going to keep doing what I do, and I encourage you to do the same.